Hey folks, it's ioEther and we're back with some more World of Tanks. So as you can see, this is Mace in his E100. This is a tier 10 game on Fisherman's Bay. And this is the tier 10, I was going to say American, but obviously German heavy tank. I love the fact that he's got, what was that, Dickerhans and Psychop? Interesting. Cool. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and get into this game. It seems he's loaded a ton of heat. Okay. I understand why he's doing so. And by the way, if you guys are looking at the thing and wondering what this whack thing is, this would be the microphone. And so I'm not gonna touch it again for the rest of this recording. It turns out I need it a lot closer to my mouth than I did. I had it last game, and I'm sorry for some of the audio stuff that happened last game. But anyways, this is the Nuke Snowball mic.
Okay. Looks like Snowball, right?
I just realized I was talking in the mic pointing in the wrong direction. Some of you may not have heard any of that. In which case, my bad. I'm totally pro at this. As we get hit by the E100 pilot, but it just bounces off our amazing armor. I do want to say, if you want to support the channel, please do invite your friends to the channel. And after that, we're just going to jump into this gameplay as we nuke, the back of a T-25 pilot. That poor guy did not see that coming, and he was doing something incredibly dumb, which was backing out in front of an E100. You want to back out in front of an E100, it will get you dead more times than you care. Oh, nice shot through. Well, I know we weren't actually shooting through the telephone post, but it really felt like we were shooting through a telephone post, didn't it? Okay. Now, most of the time in these games, you end up with heavy tanks on this corner, just side scraping against all the other heavy tanks, but there isn't many other heavy tanks on the enemy team. And the biggest one is the E100, who's currently out in the middle of that open field. So Mace isn't all that threatened. He's got maybe a T-25 pilot on the other side of him and something else. And he's side shot. We're going to pause this right here. So Mace has heat loaded. You can tell by the fact that it looks orange and it's got a little nub on the end. And yeah, it's heat. If you hover over it, which I can totally do. No, I don't think I actually can while holding the mic. So we're gonna briefly put the mic down, and then I'll show you what heat looks like and all of the ways you can tell, and you'll understand why this is relevant in a second. Okay, so. Yes, I need a new system for the mic, but for today, this is the way it's going to be. So, shush. Like I said, I told you guys, I'm pro. Believe it already. Anyways, so, he is high explosive anti-tank ammo. High explosive has this little thing where it gets absorbed by tracks. If you shoot premium, shoot heat, even though it's premium ammo with insane penetration, if you shoot it at tracks, it will still do nothing. Do not shoot heat or HEP at tracks. It's not worth your ammo costs. Okay, I know that was a mistake by him. I'm not going to go on that forever, but I do want to make sure that no one out there ever does this again, because that was just painful. As a someone who loves playing this game, that was just painful to watch. Now, is the E100 going to walk out in front of us again, or is he going to stay way back and hide? It seems, oh no, he's coming out in front of us, aiming for the cheek, over the cheek of the turret, and putting one in. And he puts one in us at the same time as a bat chat goes off for us. Now, yeah, his went through the cheek of our turret as well. And you can see him just ignoring the bat chat. Unless the bat chat is shooting him directly from behind with gold, he's not going to do a whole lot of anything. And Mace just doesn't care about a bat chat. He's just like, meh, you're just a bat chat. I got other things to be doing. This VK is either not expecting the E100 right here, or not expecting us to be able to put one through him. Either way, Mace aiming for that lower plate, guarantee of the pen, and putting one through the VK. Now, unfortunately, we take damage in return, but it's completely worth it. I'll trade 400 for 700 damage any day of the week. Wouldn't you? Okay, now we do get ourselves tracked right here, but this is the common problem of heavies, and it's really not something Mace is all that concerned about. He just waits for the VK to calmly stick himself back at it again, puts a great shot again through his lower plate, and then just waits to reload. This guy cannot do a whole lot against us. He maybe try to get tracks off again. He waits it out, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to put the shot in from coming out from behind the cover just a tad early. If we come out just as we're reloading instead of just before we reload, then that shell would have had time to go into the VK and kill him, and then we could have been pressing forward in this. But I won't call it a mistake. He did want the time to aim, which is something very vital to the E100. This thing has such a big gun. It has such a big caliber of gun that takes a very, very long time to aim this thing in compared to, say, a medium tank or somebody who's pre-aimed on a corner like that VK was. Now it looks like the VK is not, in fact, going to pop out again. He may have ran away. We don't really know. It's going to take some time before we see him again. And until we see him again, we're not going to know what he's doing. Bat chat, we had a shot on the bat chat, but it wasn't a very good shot. It was kind of around and over top of our own. Oh no, look, the VK is going to pop out in the same place and bounce us. Unfortunately, the snapshot misses, and there we see it by the accuracy and aim time of the E100. If you don't let it aim in, you have a really, unfortunately, high chance of just missing the round. Now, the VK is going to run away again before we have the chance to fully reload, which is sad and irritating because we'd really like that guy out of the way so we can push forward. But, you know, sometimes it happens this way. The VK may be overconfident and stick his nose out again. We'll have to see. But as long as we can get a decent shot into him, then that's going to be the end of VK. I'm almost partial to letting this Oho have the shot and worry about some other target, but there isn't many other targets left on the board. So we pretty much have to take care of this VK and or push. And it looks like Mace is very worried about that VK. He keeps checking that corner. He wants to make sure it doesn't pop out just as he least expects it, which is pretty much exactly what it does. But with so little health left, Mace is just not going to worry about it. Instead, shoots the T10 for most of his health. Now the VK is on 14 hit points left. Unlikely he's going to try the same maneuver again, but you never know. In either case, this E100 is definitely looking like he wants some. So he's going to pop himself out here in a second. No, actually E100's staying relatively hidden. Mace is going to have to get himself into a position where he can shoot this guy. Or this guy's just going to advance on him far enough that we can just go ahead and shoot him as he tries to. Oh, he's not actually coming around the corner. We can't shoot the VK with E100 right here in our face, but do put a great shot into the enemy E100, taking away majority of his hit points, and it looks like the T-32 is going to finish him off from behind. Note, T-32 falls back, so we're going to try and bounce this shot from the E100, and then we're going to reload. Yep, and finish him off for a very little amount of damage, but completely worth it. It's a kill of an E100. Now we're just going to ram this T10 for a bunch of damage. Actually, all the damage, apparently. As he gets the double kill and is reload in time to not shoot the VK. That's depressing, if anything else. If anything was ever depressing, that is depressing. Now, I'm really quite happy to see Mace doing this kind of damages and having blocked this kind of damages on this tank, because this is the next tank I'm buying, I do believe, and I really need to get 12,000 damage blocked and done for one of my missions, so this is making me happy. I doubt we're going to get to the other side of the map. We're going to speed up just in case. And ooh, we might have a shot on Scorpio and maybe a shot on the Jag Tiger. Yeah, we got a shot on Scorpio, assuming it doesn't die. Or we miss. It's possible that shell got eaten by its tracks, as it was still a heat shell. But, you know, maybe it got eaten by its gun. We'll check on the, there we go. That's a dead Scorpion G. Now, the Ag Tiger working on us. Bounce, well, get the shot eaten by its tracks, our tracks. And then, unfortunately, the Ag Tiger dies before we can take a crack at it. But all in all, this was a great game and a great use of the E100. If you ever want to know how to play the E100, this is it. However, one thing to note, as much as Mace is using purely heat in this game, you do not need to spam heat in this tank. It just goes easier if you do. If you're aiming for weak spots and shooting, especially, those pilots not needed in the Scorp G, those were not heat rounds needed. E100, yeah, probably. All in all, great game. Thank you so much, Mace, for showing us how to play the E100. Mastery Badge, Second Class, Duelist, Fighter, 5 for Effect, and of course, the Shell Proof. Also managing to get Cool Headed for ricocheting 10 shots in a row. Steel Wall, and the High Caliber. All those were richly deserved. Look at that. Not top in experience, but that's only because the Oho was tier 8 and this snuck out on experience earned. But 555 damage done. Anyone think that his lucky number is 5? For some weird reason. Look at that. 5,000 damage block by armor. Unfortunately, managing to get, 340 over his, 555. That would be cool if those numbers matched. But anyways, it was a well-played game. And thank you all for watching. Thank you again to Mace for showing us a great example of how to play the E100 in one of the best ways. Again, don't need heat, but it definitely helps out a lot. And last thing, of course, if you want to support the channel, one of the best ways you can do so is by pulling your friends in. And I do want to note that by this weekend, I will have another That Just Happened video out. However, if you want to see it early, my patrons will get a sneak peek at it a day or two in advance. So if you want to be a patron for as little as $1, you can see it before everyone else sees it. I will see you all later. This ioEther out.